Many people who think they are soft summers or soft autumns, or perhaps they've even been professionally color analyzed as that using a different color analysis system, leave my service with a true spring result. That is just a fact. In this video, I'm going to share with you some things I do in color analysis that I can't explain. They literally just come from in-person color analysis experience primarily, and I've just transferred that over to my virtual experience. In my color analysis training, I was taught about the three-step color analysis process. So step one is cool versus warm, and step two is looking at home season. So if in step one, the person leaned cool, you would look at winter, summer in step two. If somebody was warm in step one, you would look at autumn, spring in step two. And then step three is where you figure out what sort of winter, summer, autumn, spring they are. And all this is doing color comparisons with very specific colors in each step. But let's say that your eyes were perhaps not seeing certain things in one or all of the steps, and I developed my own little check and balance system based on experience. And I encourage you, if you are an aspiring color analysis professional, to work out what checks and balances that you want to do. At the beginning of this video, I shared a lot of people who think they're in the muted palette ranges leave with a true spring result from my service. And so one of the checks I do is actually when I arrive at true spring in step 3 of color analysis, I actually will compare it with the muted palette just to officially rule that out. And if you've received a true summer or true spring result, I stare at spring versus summer for a very long time in making that decision. And again, multiple colors are tested here. It's not just one. We're talking about several colors. What else do I check? I know if somebody leaves my service with a true autumn result, I will just double check it with the cool palette at the end. And in my virtual service, what I do is I'll review files on one day and then review them again on a second day to make sure I'm still seeing the same thing. So I double check that things are still lining up on multiple occasions. Sometimes I'll hold it for a third, fourth day. When I was doing in-person color analysis, when I was doing these checks that have no rhyme or reason to them, I literally would just explain to the client who was sitting there being draped that I'm just double checking some things for my own, peace of mind. And all that comes with experience. And sometimes it's just based on the individual. I'll just see their coloring and sort of go, okay, I want to double check these ones. And it's no rhyme or reason. So let's say I arrive, say, at a bright spring result at the end. I might compare it with true autumn and a couple other palettes. It makes no sense. But I just learned this from experience. I'm so filled with appreciation that Elise is doing in-person color analysis as part of our service in Toronto, because I'm able to pass some of this knowledge over to her, and she's doing these checks as well. All this to say to clients, or even if you're a color analysis professional starting out or what have you, is yes, I do the 3-step process on you and always have, but I do several additional checks and balances that I can't explain technically, and they're part of my routine, and they've been developed over time and through experience. And if you're working as a color analysis professional or just starting out, you likely will develop your own, or perhaps have your own set of checks and balances around this. But I'm just sharing to everybody that it's really not just a 3-step process. I have my own checks and balances.